Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Christy Press, your hometown realtor, and today we're going to talk about living in Elk Grove, what locals love and what they complain about. We're going to give honest reviews on this because we don't want just stats, right? We just don't want to know, is Elk Grove actually a great place to live just by, I don't know what the computer says. Like, we want to know what real people think that live there. So if you're thinking about moving here and you just don't want the stats, you want the truth from someone who understands the area, today I'm going to break it down for you. What locals generally love about Elk Grove, what they complain about, because everybody knows, everybody complains behind closed doors, and who the city is really perfect for. Because Elk Grove is growing so fast, everybody, this depends on what kind of lifestyle you want. And what do I always talk about? Lifestyle. I just want to share that with you guys. So let's get into this. What locals love about Elk Grove. Okay, so I wrote a few notes here because I didn't want to miss anything from all of the clients that I have helped move into Elk Grove. Also with me going in and shopping and doing things in Elk Grove. So the one thing that I think that the biggest reasons that families love Elk Grove is the stability. The neighborhoods feel predictable in a good way, meaning that your kids can ride their bikes, they can have fun, families walk their dogs. You see everybody just walking around, everybody kind of looking out for each other, neighbors waving to you, people just know who you are. Keep an eye out for the neighborhoods too, right? Like if something's not supposed to be there, somebody's supposed to be there, if there looks something to be different, they notify whoever something's going on in someone's yard, hey, this is what's going on. So I think it has that real good community feel. Crime rates are generally lower compared to nearby urban areas, and there's a strong sense of community-oriented policing. So that creates a really good peace of mind. A lot of families are relocating from larger cities, and so that peace of mind is really great. I will go into just a little bit from the Elk Grove Police Department that I know that I'll also do a video on for you guys here in a little while. They do a lot of community policing models. So just to share a few things with that, they don't just respond to calls. Elk Grove is very, very proactive. They're actively building relationships within the community with, just everyone that lives there. There's officers that are assigned to specific neighborhoods long-term so that they really can establish and build those relationships with the communities, with the people, with the neighbors, with people that live in that neighborhood. So there's familiar faces in schools, businesses, community events. There's direct communication with neighborhoods in HOAs. There's neighborhood meetings and safety workshops. So I really like the fact that Elk Grove Police Department do a lot of proactiveness. They're not just like a reactive policing. The goal is prevention, and it's huge. The entire management, the chief, everyone, they do everything that they can to have that community involvement personally as well. So we will get into that more, but that's what's giving that safety, that peace of mind. And I think that's really great. Schools and long-term value is another one. What locals appreciate is the variety of elementary, middle, and high school options, right? Elk Grove School District is one of the largest districts in Northern California. And surprising, right? Because they're not as big as some of these other cities like Sacramento, Roseville, things like that. But they are the biggest. They have strong academic and extracurricular activities and programs for all the kids in different genres. They have sports, culture, music and arts programs. Even with people without children care about this. Like, they go to the football games, they go to the basketball games, they go to, the golfing. Like, it's so cool that the community is like, hey, what's going on? Let's go check it out. Let's go see a good game. And it's always fun with high school, right? That you can have just your whole community come out and root for you. And I think that's really, really great. Schools are number one priority for a lot of people with families and people that are considering starting families. That's what they want to know. Homes near highly rated schools tend to sell faster, they hold better value, and they attract relocating buyers consistently. So those are things as well. So schools are a big driver for stability here. Parks, recreation, and outdoor life. Elk Grove has a ton of that. You've got to have, let's see, Elk Grove Regional Park that has trails, picnic tables, fishing, large community events. I see soccer games out there constantly, softball, baseball. I mean, they have a ton of stuff going on out there. There's dozens of neighborhood parks, sports fields everywhere. You've got the Wackford Center, walking and biking trails woven throughout the subdivisions. I mean, they really think about that stuff. There's always something to do in Elk Grove, and that's what the locals like about that. Like I said, on the weekends, I mean, if you drive through there just trying to go to the grocery store or go shopping, you'll see soccer tournaments, you'll see birthday parties at the parks, you'll see food truck gatherings, community festivals. I mean, there's always something to do, but it doesn't feel chaotic, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's everything going on all the time. It's interesting how Elk Grove has done that, because there's activities that are going on and things that you can partake in that you can enjoy and really spend some time there without feeling like everything is in a hustle and bustle. So for people coming from dense cities, the suburban breathing room really feels refreshing, and they really, really love that about Elk Grove. I think the location of Elk Grove also plays into kind of a hometown favorite, if you will, and what the locals like. It gives them access to downtown jobs. It just sits south of Sacramento. So like I've said, down 99, you've got, Elk Grove from Sacramento for about 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic. You've got government employment, you've got medical centers, you've got the airport. I mean, you're within 2 hours of Tahoe, an hour and a half Bay Area, an hour and a half to Napa, wine country. I mean, technically, if you wanted to go to wine country, you could go down to Lodi, which would be about 30 minutes down 99. And there's a bunch of vineyards and things like that down there. So, I mean, it's quite interesting to be able to, have all of that basically at your fingertips. And that's what the locals really like. It feels very central without feeling, kind of overwhelming. The other thing that I would say that the locals have told me about is diversity and food scene. I can tell you there is so much diversity there, which I love, but the food diversity is on another level. And I think that's awesome. You can go there and find any kind of restaurant that you want. Asian food, Hispanic food, multicultural communities that are there, Indian restaurants, high-end restaurants. Of course, you've got your, standard chain restaurants, but it's so eclectic and it's so amazing. The food scene just really reflects the multicultural communities that are there, and it just brings everybody together. There's a lot of family-owned restaurants that the community supports, which is, the locals appreciate the cultural richness, I will say, and as well as I do. I just think it's amazing to have so much in one town or city, I guess. It feels clean, it feels organized, and it has design. That's another thing that people say is Elk Grove feels structured. There's wide streets, nice sidewalks, two-way landscaping in all the areas. You don't see a lot of anything of overgrown. You don't see things that have not been tended to within the city. Master planned communities. So there's something in every community, from trails, walking, dog parks, regular parks, pools, barbecue places, like just anywhere you can have a great time. And it feels really intentional. I think that Elk Grove really, really thinks about that when they're building out there and when they're creating things, that they're really thinking about the people that live there. Let's get into what they do not like, okay? Number one, traffic, okay? I was just there yesterday, and oh my gosh, just getting from one place to the next, I'm like, why is there so many people on the road at 11 a.m.? It was a Monday, I don't know. But as it's grown, of course, traffic is going to increase, right? Highway 99 during rush hour can be super bottleneck. It's still kind of it's in the feeling of a small town. So you have the on-ramps that come on that just put you right on the freeway, and that gets bottlenecked. And there's a lot of the lights, obviously, for, the one or two vehicles to go. So that can kind of get bottlenecked. School drop-off times can get congested. If you're at that, like on Elk Grove Boulevard for Elk Grove High School, parents are getting in to drop their kids off, but it's also on Elk Grove Boulevard to turn into the high school. So you're going to find some congestion there. Certain intersections, like 99 in Laguna, coming right off of that, you've got a light right as soon as you get off of the freeway that can get congested and kind of back up as well. If you work in downtown Sacramento, and commute time just really kind of matters. It's not super extreme, but it's definitely noticeable compared to what it was about 10 to 15 years ago. But again, it's building, it's growing, people are loving living there and moving there. And so that's something that they essentially put up with, if you will, to live there, to have all of the lifestyle that they want. For some people, I mean, especially for the younger professionals that move to Elk Grove, they almost feel like it's too quiet, which I think is interesting because there's so much stuff to do there. But it's very residential. It's limited nightlife. So, you can go out to a couple of the restaurants that stay, and a couple of the bars, but it's not something that like you would find downtown Sacramento where there's clubs and there's bars and, that type of feel. Restaurants do close a little earlier. Not much happening after about 10 p.m. in Elk Grove. So sometimes that can be something where people are still wanting to, have more of a nightlife. So they probably go to Sacramento, I would say. So it's more of a family dinner kind of atmosphere than a rooftop bar. Though that would be really cool if anybody's watching this. Maybe you guys can create something like that. That would be fun. If you want walkable entertainment districts, you may find yourself driving into Sacramento. So those would be kind of the downfalls. The other thing is going to be prices. Elk Grove used to be considered affordable, but as demand has increased, especially from Bay Area relocation, prices have climbed. Longtime locals sometimes say it's not as cheap as it used to be. It's more affordable than many other California metros, but it's no longer a little hidden gem. A lot of people are finding Elk Grove, and for good reason. The Melrose and HOA fees, especially on a certain part of Elk Grove, which is going to be on like the 95757, 95758 zip codes. It's because of the newer developments, the subdivisions. You may encounter the Melrose tax. You also might get the HOA dues because of the master planned communities. That's what that's paying for. Not every neighborhood has them, but that is something that has increased as in the last probably 5 to 10 years. It surprises most first-time home buyers, but for people that are upgrading or wanting to move there from another area like Sacramento or the Bay Area, not really, a change there, not really a surprise. And then I would say the last thing that people complain about is probably the construction. Yeah, it's still growing. Elk Grove is growing and it's giving you all sorts of things. Again, I was just there yesterday and I drove by. There's a new Whole Foods coming in, I think in the next couple of months. It looks like it's ready to me, but I don't know. Maybe the food isn't in there yet. But new retail expansion, new subdivision, road widening, there's more people. So we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. You've got another great community event place called District 56. They're bringing in things in and out. They've got those it's crazy. They've got those, usually it was just in one area off of Laguna Boulevard and 99. Now there's another one down off Elk Grove Boulevard and I-5. Chick-fil-A, same thing. So they're expanding. The city is expanding. So unfortunately, you're going to have that construction. You're going to have all the new expansions. And so, growth is positive for long-term development, but it is temporarily annoying. Totally annoying. So who is Elk Grove perfect for, you guys? I'm going to say families prioritizing safety. Like I said, the policing is very proactive in what they do and keeping the crime rates and staying connected with their neighborhood, which I think is phenomenal. Buyers wanting new homes, right? Not wanting those high ticket prices. Commuters to Sacramento, people who want that suburban predictability. And buyers thinking long term, like they want to stay in Elk Grove for 10 plus years. May not be ideal for maybe the young professionals, like we talked about, maybe the ones that are looking for more of a nightlife, more things that are going on because they work during the day and they want more of that. People seeking more of a historic architectural charm probably would not be. Maybe on the 95624 side of Elk Grove, that's the older part of town, where it still has a lot of the charm, the old library, a lot of older buildings. And buyers wanting a more dense urban walkability. So if they want to be able to walk everywhere to go, we're not quite there yet with Elk Grove. But it's a lifestyle match. As I've always told you guys, lifestyle matters. And that is what I am all about with you, is what's your lifestyle? And let me match your lifestyle with the neighborhood or the city or the home that fits your lifestyle, not the other way around. So, what locals love the most is safety, schools, parks, community, the community feel, and just the balanced lifestyle. If there's something to do all the time if you want to, or you can just go for a walk and chill. What they complain about, traffic. Who doesn't complain about traffic? Maybe the suburban is a little too quiet, rising prices, and obviously the side effects of the growth, right? Like we talked about with the construction, new things coming in. The city isn't perfect, but it's growing, and they're doing such a great job trying to be intentional on everything that they're doing and building. You know, I think that moving out here and, you know, if it's for you guys and the lifestyle, and you're wanting to know if it's your lifestyle, let me know. Call me, text me, email me, send me a pigeon carrier. I don't even care. I would love to help you. I would love to help take you to the lifestyle areas that, you know, that you talk to me about, and see and share with you what I think would fit with what you share with me. So if this video helped you guys, please make sure to subscribe, because I post every week content about anything, you know, living in Elk Grove, market updates, neighborhood breakdowns, all sorts of fun and good things, and anything that you guys need from me. So drop a comment, tell me what you think, and I'll see you on the next video.